Monday morning or evening or afternoon. Man, what is going on? Man, drinking this Egyptian licorice tea. You already know I'm hit y'all with it. Did Jesus come back? Did he really come back today? God damn. Man, shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to the homegirl, Erica, Shawnee, Mariah, my cousin, Tasha, my sister, 066, Screwhead, Dave for No Compromise. I gotta get with David. Man, David, I've had so much shit going on this week. I'll tell you about it when it's all said and done. I just had to do my due diligence and get all my eggs in a row, man. But this week I should have some time so we can get that spaces cracking. I know plus it's the holiday, so people got shit to do. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Just making to see my shit. I gotta re-up, man. I'm almost out. Shit, motherfuckers been getting this shit. I appreciate it though. Shout out to Miss Tanya LaTanya. I appreciate everybody out there. Man, excuse me. We gonna get into it today. We gonna talk about it a little bit. We gonna touch a little bit on the Roe v. versus Wade, and I'm still gonna talk about Ghislaine Maxwell and R. Kelly, and we just gonna talk about a few things, man. And we gonna get it in today, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the 4th of July weekend. I probably might do a podcast tomorrow, depending on what it is. Just touch a little bit on 4th of July, which ain't nothing but a goddamn scam anyway. But let's get into it, man. Oh, shout out to all you non-working, lazy motherfuckers that just want, you hanger-oners, just want to hang around and see what transpires so you can hang on and be like, I knew you could do it. Shout out to all them motherfuckers, too. Real. Let's get it, man. Cut that shit down, man. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Man, you know what, man? I was having this conversation with my sister, and we was talking about the court plantation, and she just was saying the same. She go through the same shit. She was like, you almost rather have a white supervisor than a black supervisor, because these black motherfuckers are mammying and cooning and sandboing. They worse than the damn white people. You know what I mean? They want to play games. They want to set you up. They want to hang out at the job. And you got to watch those people that's not there to be constructive and not replacing the system of racism, white supremacy, establishing the system of justice. So if they not there to establish the system of justice, they just hanging out. I call those the hanger-oners, the floaters. They just like to float. You got to get away from them, man. And I feel like the dominant society, that's what America wants. They want a Clarence Thomas. They want a motherfucker that look like us, you know, physical features, but think like them mentally. That's what they want. And it's true, because you have too many black folk that get in these fictitious positions of power, and they flip motors to squad, and they start acting like them. And that doesn't exclude all these other racial groups, too. You got the Latinos that identify as white Hispanics. What is a white Hispanic? Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. Those are white Hispanics. That's what they identify as. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with it? What's going on with it, Erica, man? You already know what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have a lot of that shit, man. And that's why I always talk about the court plantation, man, because that's where people got to feed their family. But it's hard for you to feed your family when you at war with them and with your own folk. Because all skin folk ain't kin folk. Everybody that look like you ain't of you and for you. You know, you dealing with these Africans, they get on the job and, oh, I'm Nigerian. Oh, I'm such and such. But then when a white person, you know, say some out of line shit, oh, my brother, my nigga, you know, that bullshit. These are racist people. Man, fuck you. I done worked around motherfuckers like Africans, and they are very suspect in how they conduct themselves at the court plantation. I'm sorry. I've worked around plenty of them, and they all, the majority, suspect. They get around white people, they get the buck dancing and throwing niggas under the bus and shit. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of dominant society people don't see them as a threat, because they long to be just like them. If they could, they'd identify as white too. But I'm telling you, man, it's so funny, man. See, this is what I mean by ain't nothing wrong with growing up in church. I had a situation, I'm dealing with, and this, it's just like, oh man, you should come to my church. And I'm like, man, see, I didn't want to be rude to the sister because the sister meant well. Of course, it was a Kojic. I grew up Kojic, and I don't have nothing wrong with it, but sister, when you're dealing with racism and white supremacy, Kojic is none of these religions is really, to me, in my personal opinion, they're not gonna do the thing unless you want to present to me Ifa or Kumbumle or Voodoo or Voodoo or Santeria. Okay, now let's try something different. But this Kojic shit and Baptist shit and nah, man. I wasn't, and I wasn't gonna disrespect the sister because, I understood where she was coming from. Now, the old Warren, probably 2014, 2015, I would have been like, look, oh, you want me to come so we can talk about praising Cesare Borgia? But I'm like, nah, I'm not finna do that. Oh, what's going on, Tasha? I see you. We was having a great conversation yesterday. And I'm just listening because I'm like, wow, I had a conversation with David from No Compromise. We all go through the same shit at these core plantations. And then you have these black folk that get these positions, and then they'll use the little bit of authority that they have to be fucking with other niggas. It's like, where the fuck happened? Where's the code at? And then when a nigga, like my homegirl Jerica said, she was like, yeah, Warren. And when I ran up on that bitch ain't had nothing to say. I was dying laughing because it's the truth. You know what I mean? Look, the system is maintained not by white people, it's maintained by black people and other racial groups. That's why it's such a strong system. It's not because white folk are out there pushing the line. White folk are not pushing the line anymore. It's everybody else that's pushing the line. It's Africans. It's Sambos and Mammy black Americans. It's other racial groups that push the line, and that's how the system is maintained. And that's why I feel like America, they want a motherfucking Clarence Thomas. They gotta have that. That's how the system is maintained. Motherfucker, look, okay, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, study the white man. You want to study him. But two, you gotta start looking at your own people to be like, okay, what the fuck are they on? Because I'm telling you, man, I worked a lot of core plantations, and anytime I had a black supervisor, it's always been more drama and more problems. I'm not saying that with a white supervisor, it ain't no drama, it ain't no problems, but it's been more with them. You know what I'm saying? It just has. Shit. And that's the thing that, just kind of irritated me a little bit, man, because, as we talking about this shit, me and sister, we chop it up, but everything I'm like, damn, this shit sound like what David was saying from No Compromise. This sound like what I be saying. This sound like what my nephew talk about. Sound like what my little sister talks about. Everybody that I've ever talked about that's at these core plantations, this is what you're gonna hear. I just think black folk don't want to hear it because I think it does something to our psyche when you go on these core plantations and we tend to act out of character to make the dominant society feel safe. And I don't do that. And trust me, when you don't smile with them and you quiet, you slow to speak, and you question certain things, oh, they don't like that shit. I dealt with that shit not too long ago. You question a person, okay, well, why is this? Well, where is this? And what do we need? They get having her to get pissed off, have attitude with you. You know what I mean? But I've always said this, man. Just stay on code even when you don't get along. When I don't get along with somebody, I just go away. I don't try to go out of my way. But there's some motherfuckers that need to just shut the fuck up. And there's a lot of people that be acting like they don't want to be in a position of fictitious power, but they do. And they want to be the motherfucker telling everybody what to do. Motherfuckers get off on that fake ass positions of power, man. You ain't got no power because it ain't your system. But we get up every day longing to be a part of that rat race. Nah, man, you can have that shit. No, I don't, I feel like if you want to move up the corporate plantation ladder, then you go ahead and do that. But for those that don't want to move up that corporate ladder and want to just get in there and get their money and get the fuck on, those are the people that I feel like are the smartest because you're going to have less stress. When you start trying to move up look, they going to always change the goalposts. Like my cousin Mariah was saying, one day I gotta have her on here, her and my sister. They'll tell you, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off. that shit is fun. When she was telling me that shit, I was rolling. She's like, yeah, Warren. And I already know, everybody in our family already know, like, my cousin had these degrees in the 90s. So when you go to a corporation and they be like, okay, well, you got to go get this. I immediately started laughing when she was telling me the story. I was laughing my ass off. And she knew why I was laughing. I was like, man, you been doing this shit since the 90s. She was like, yeah, Warren. But these motherfuckers had the nerve to tell me, oh, well, you got to go get that. Boom, she go get that. Get whatever they ask her to go get. Boom, boom, I go get it. And then they still lowball a motherfucker on what they want to pay you. After you done did everything they asked you to do, they still lowball you. So what does that tell you about this system? So if we got to fight them, why the fuck is you fighting each other? We was talking about that yesterday too. Hey man, give compliments. And it's hard to give black folk compliments because a lot of times black folk don't know where you're coming from. They don't know if you're trying to rob them or steal from them. You don't know. You know what I mean? But after a while when they're around you, they see. Like, you know what I mean? Look, I remember when I worked at I would say one of the toughest rec centers to work at, Doolittle Community Center. And, you know, me being from California, you know, it was a little different. But, you know, I felt like I got treated great as far as the neighborhood and some of the people there. And there were certain people that worked there that had really nice materials, which would cause you to hate. I just never had that in my spirit. I was always probably one of the biggest cheerleaders. And I think that's what threw them off at first because they couldn't figure me out. Because, you know, usually when you give a person a compliment, you try to hang up under them and be kind of like a groupie. Well, I just wasn't raised that way. I was raised to give a person a compliment and let them enjoy their shit. And I just remember one time, my nigga, that nigga said, man, you always on the phone talking about music. And I think he was enamored because I was able to give a compliment, but not hate. I was able to give a compliment on his materials that were very nice, but not be up under him and be a hanger-oner. And then, you know, I had to kind of tell him, like, look, man, I'ma always give my people props, you know. And I hadn't even, this was way before I was Reed. This was like 03, 04, some shit like that. And I was like, look, man, you gotta give your people props. It's hard out here. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to like get these materials. So when you get it, you gotta give people props, man, because you want them to give you props when you get it. And that kind of fucked him up, like, damn, because, you know, I'm not a hanger-oner. And it's hard to give each other props, man, because we are, I think, programmed and socialized to see each other through the lenses of the dominant society. It's always hate. We get on the job, we start looking around. See, me, when I get on the job, I start looking around. I don't look around to see, okay, how many black people. It's their system, so it's not gonna be a lot of black people. But when you do see a lot of black people, you have to start questioning, why is there so many black people working at this motherfucker? One, and how many, you have to be like the Predator, you know, a RoboCop, like you looking through a computer lens, and now you have to scan and be like, okay, well, how many of these motherfuckers are Sambos and Mammies and Coons? So then you gotta like be very slow to speak and eager to hear. And that's what a lot of people didn't really like about my philosophy, because I you know, I'm not gonna be quick to be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? And woo woo woo. Nah, I don't do that. I'm just gonna be very, you know, when you on these corporate plantations, you gotta kind of be quiet and be very, very, very mindful of what the fuck is going on, because it's a game. And they'll pull you in the game before you know it. You the center of the drama. Let's not be the center of the drama. Let's not be the Clarence Thomas. You know, let's not try to aspire to be Jean-Jacques Dessalines either, because that's a big jump. Just aspire to be you and learn how to navigate this system on your own, and don't be in competition with your own people. That's why I'm telling you, you get something nice, be happy for somebody and get the fuck out their way. Let them enjoy it. Motherfucker want to be happy and sit there and be up under you the whole, like, damn, sometimes people just want you to be happy for them, and let them go on and enjoy their shit. Some people come into a little bit of money, be happy for them, whether it pays you to be happy or not, or get the fuck out the way. Don't automatically start wanting to be up under them because they came into a little bit of money. Be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, in this world, it's cold, man. I'll challenge everybody this. Send this to anybody this. Y'all want to hate? Why don't you take that energy and go get you a life insurance policy? Take that hateful energy you got and go get so pissed off that you go to the insurance place and say, man, I'm pissed. I want a life insurance policy. Well, take that energy and do that with that shit. God damn. Don't spread that to your children and spread that to everybody, and, stop having that vindictive evil spirit. You know what I mean? Thinking that that's how you're supposed to be. We quick to be like that, but we also have to hold each other accountable too. We have to hold each other accountable. Meaning, you can't sit back and watch everybody else work hard, and then you pop up like the State Farm bitch or like Snoop Dogg and have bait, and then got your hand out talking about give me what you got. Nah, nigga. You got to get out there. You got 24 hours in a day like everybody else. I'm so sick of everybody who got 24 hours in a day, and they can tell you everything everybody else got going on. And that was another thing, too. Motherfuckers be surprised when they call you, they hit you up. We was talking about this yesterday, too. Motherfucker hit you up like, what you doing? Nigga, I got to go to work. That's what my sister had me dying laughing. Like, sometimes I think because we are not complaining about our everyday life and drama of going to work, that everybody just assumes that life is just grandiose. But nigga, I gotta get up and go to work every day. So if I gotta get up and go to work every day, read between the lines. That doesn't mean everything is great in gravity. That just means sometimes what's the point? I keep telling you, but shit, you in the same situation as me. I just gotta get up and go do it. You know what I mean? These are just things that I feel like we need to work on and handle, man, because life, you don't want to spend the majority of your lifetime, you already at the corporate plantation, trying to appease everybody, and you don't really want to celebrate how you got your shit going on because you don't want to be offensive to everybody else. That's why sometimes it's good to just be by yourself, try to enjoy the fruits of your labor, and then go on and do your thing. And then when somebody, wants you around to help celebrate, the fruits of their labor, that doesn't mean you take that as a key to, all right, well, I'm gonna be a hanger-oner. No, man, just, hey, man, hey, congratulations, I'm proud of you, whoop, and get the fuck out the way. Because in this life, man, they want more Clarence Thomases than anything. They want Clarence Thomases, they want Keisha LeMami Bottoms, they want those type of people, because those are the maintainers of the system. Those are the people that keep the system going. It ain't even white folk, it's them. Yeah, white folk are the architects of the system, but the people that are maintaining the system is black folk a lot of time and other racial groups. And that's what we need to start questioning and calling people to the floor. Stop looking into people's personal business and see, I don't give a fuck what you got going on in your personal business. What are you doing to replace the system? Are you reading, studying? Are you passing on the information? Are you trying to incorporate it? Are you patronizing black businesses? What are you doing to replace that system? What's your goals and dreams and ambitions, besides that? Like, what are you trying to do to empower yourself? Fuck all this. Oh, I heard that nigga was robbing the motherfucker. I'm like, man, it's so funny. I was watching, I'm gonna lead with this. I was watching this podcast. I'm gonna say what podcast it was. And this brother was talking a lot of shit about the Nation of Islam. He was talking a lot of shit about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He was talking a lot of shit about the religion itself. But I didn't hear him say one thing about no white religion. That's one. So yeah, I didn't hear that because I was listening for that. And I felt like, I just was like, it is so easy for us to put the Nation of Islam on business, but I don't see nobody else on the motherfucking corners. I don't care if they are not making as much money as they can selling pies. Okay, whatever. I don't see niggas talking shit about Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. I don't see no motherfucker talking about black Christians. I don't see nobody talking about, what's that motherfucker that got that big Christian dome and he didn't want nobody in there when it was flooding. I forgot his name and it was money all in his walls. That white guy that's always smiling with the Lord Jesus perm. I don't see nobody going at them motherfuckers, but they will sure go after the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and Nation of Islam. And what's so funny is, these are people's opinions based on what somebody told them. It isn't like you went, joined the religion, studied it, understood what was going on. Every religion, no religion is perfect. That's one. And every religion has its political structure. Joel Osteen, there you go. Good looking out, Tasho. That motherfucker. But motherfucker, let me tell you something. Nigga, I'm from L.A. I went to Shenandoah Elementary. My brother and sister went to La Cienega. Okay? I was zoned for Santa Monica High School, Palms Junior High. I was like, nigga, I'm from West L.A. Adams and Hauser. So if you took Adams to Crenshaw, that was not too far from where I grew up. That was probably like 2 minutes. 2 minutes or something. My family would be able to tell you because I ain't been out there a long time. But what I did see growing up in the 80s was, I saw the Nation of Islam out there in the midst of all that war gang shit going on. I saw them niggas out there selling pies, trying to establish a system of justice. Now, maybe the tactics were wrong or maybe the compensation was incorrect. That's fine. But who the fuck am I to be like, oh, well, they don't pay niggas and all that? Well, that white job or that building that you owning that they short selling you on and they fucking you on royalty, they not paying you what it's worth. But I don't see motherfuckers going on TV talking about, yeah, these white folks robbing me. But motherfuckers will go on any podcast and be like, yeah, the Nation of Islam, and that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. And why don't you reach out to them and have a conversation with the Nation of Islam if you don't like what they doing? That's what I mean about being on code. You don't never see the white Jewish community coming out and dogging another Jewish community out or dogging each other out. They don't do that shit. Only us, we the only niggas that do that. If you had discrepancies, I don't agree with everything the Nation of Islam practices and does. You're not supposed to, because you're supposed to have your own mind. But what I can say is they're responsible for changing a lot of killers' minds. A lot of killers that go in the fucking pen and they come out and they be reformed and they have discipline. They have discipline enough not to get back on the street and get to killing niggas again. So it's like, and why we can't focus on the good? You know how many houses I've been into? White folk got John F. Kennedy on their wall, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington on their wall. You don't question that. You don't question these white bank institutions that redline you and gentrify you, but you'll question the Nation of Islam that ain't done shit to you. You might not like the practice. I don't give a fuck if the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had 50 kids, nigga. I don't give a fuck about that shit. That's the problem. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he had all those kids, and the problem. JFK was fucking a whole bunch. Every nigga that's been in the presidential seat, done fucked a whole bunch of bitches, done had kids and all this other shit. You don't never hear the motherfuckers talk about that shit. Kamala Harris was a side bitch. I ain't heard nobody say nothing about that, but niggas is still talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had a whole bunch of kids and shit. So, and what the fuck does that got to do with what we talk about right now? How is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad having all them kids stopping you from calling out these white institutions and establishing a system of justice? Did he oppress you? Did he put a gun in your head and make you go to the Nation of Islam? These are things that you gotta ask yourself. That's all. But hey, man, that's my time. I'm out. I gotta go. Shit. Man, y'all have a great Sunday. I might do a podcast tomorrow. I might not. We'll see how it is, man. Hey, man. Love, live life, stay in your own lane. Shawnee, Erica, Tasha, Mariah, all y'all out there, man. Y'all enjoy y'all time. And just, when you hear motherfuckers talking about the nation, don't get mad. Just listen to what they're saying. And it's all like personal shit that they got from somebody else. Remember that. This is not nobody that went and studied the Nation of Islam for 10 years, joined the Nation of Islam, studied, sat down with the Nation of Islam, the FOI. What are your core principles, what it is, and no, this is just what somebody told them. All right, man, I'm out, man. And if you out there and you got all this energy for black shit, I just want you to have the same energy for the white people. As Ghislaine Maxwell got 20 years and R. Kelly got 30, just like I fucking said. And ain't nobody said shit about Ghislaine Maxwell, but everybody still talk. I was watching an interview with Scott Storch, and they was like, do you still talk to R. Kelly? Oh, no, man, I got daughters. You wasn't saying that shit when you was making music with him. Now, all of a sudden, since other white people done deemed him bad, now, can't deal with R. Kelly. Man, fuck you. What do y'all think these people was doing on Pedophile Island with Jeff Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell? What the fuck y'all think they was doing? Y'all thought they was just out there praying? Man, stop. Studying the Torah? Man, get the fuck out of here. thought you thought you had a sucker? Nah, man, I don't want to hear that shit. But you already know what it is. And if a nigga up here having all this vitriol and anger towards the black community, but they don't want to call out the bullshit that they deal with at their corporate plantation that is owned by the dominant society, you already know what my saying is. You didn't watch that shit on purpose. I know. I couldn't watch it no more. And I was waiting for it to come because I was waiting for it. I was waiting for him to say some shit. First of all, Scott Storch, first of all, this is not even your culture. That's one. Two, you don't have a right to say that about R. Kelly. And three, it's just not your culture. You're a guest in the house of our culture. So for you to say that has no validity with me. So I wasn't feeling that shit at all. And my motherfuckers want to blow him up and all this other shit. No, nigga, you're not Timberland, you're not Dre. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, man, you talented, but not enough for you to cross the line and throw dirt on that man's name. You don't have the right to do that. That's the problem. We need to start speaking up for our own. Nigga, I'll talk shit about R. Kelly, nigga, not you. Nigga, I'm foundational black American. I will have shit to say about R. Kelly. You're not. You don't have that right to say nothing about R. Kelly. Fuck out of here. Niggas better start having a mentality like Eminem and being quiet. Y'all notice, that's the one thing about Eminem, you gotta give him props. The nigga don't say shit about no niggas. After that Lord Jamar shit, that nigga don't say shit at all. He don't come out, he don't say shit, he don't throw dirt, he don't throw dirt on other niggas' names. He just keep to his motherfucking self. That's how a lot of these white motherfuckers need to be. Y'all need to take a page out of Eminem's book when it comes to that. But hey, man, you already know what it is. Tomatoes to that interview, okay? Hey, man, you already know what it is. Y'all know what it ain't. Hey, man, enjoy your time. If you got to work at the corporate plantation, remember, man, just stay focused, stay in your lane. Don't worry about what the fuck somebody else saying, and just handle your business. And remember, have your own goals that you have within this system. You can always have your own goals. Don't worry about what the next motherfucker doing. And if somebody has something nice, you give them a compliment, they don't receive it, fuck them. You know you didn't have malice in your heart. And then when you get something nice, you will, trust me, you will get it back. But you know what's so fucked up? A lot of times you'll get it from other racial groups and you won't even get it from your own. But it doesn't matter. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all know what my saying is. Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.